Hello, everybody, and welcome to today's watch party for the 90s classic Tremors. As always, I'm Andrew, and I'm joined by Dom. Welcome, Dom.
Hello, everybody.
Okay, everybody. So today's sync point will be when the video says Universal and MCA Company, when it basically completes on there. But while you're getting everything sorted, I can see we've got some great friends joining us. Firstly, over on YouTube, we have Pepjin, Hell If I Know, Mr. Gummer, welcome, the Tremors Saga, Hazard Drive, and Cute Cult. And then over on Discord, we have, let's go through some of these people. We've got Mr. Furzal, Edward the Black Prince, Lizard Man, ENIAC, the Tremors Saga, again over on Discord. We've got Mad Matt, Fraglord, James Hellier, Sharon, Calbot, and Brainwire, Phonic, David Mice, and scrolling through, there's a lot of people here. Kaizo Jug Kudge. Excuse me if I say that wrong. Kaizo Kudge. Yes, there we go. And right, we're going to get going in a couple of minutes just while everyone gets themselves queued up. And welcome Joshua Nelson over on YouTube. So, as I say, the sync point today will be when the Universal logo appears. I just want to take a moment as well just to acknowledge something generally in the geek culture. Just to take a moment to say how sorry I was to hear the passing of Kevin Conroy. I think everyone was hit really hard by it. That was our Batman has gone. He's up there with Christopher Reeve now, so yeah, it's a hard one. But let's carry on. I also welcome Thackeray Binks 86. So, Dom, this film, now I've got to admit I saw this first on video. This was a video store rental, I think, for most people. This was probably a video store rental. I don't think many people caught it at the theatre. What about yourself, Dom?
Absolutely. This was a poster before it was a film in my mind. Every time I'd walk into my local Apollo video, which was my budget blockbuster, just around the corner, I would see this huge cutout of the poster of the dog alligator thing, like in the dirt, ready to chomp away at the desert dwellers. And my mind made so many versions of this film before I actually saw it. I saw pretty much every one of the movies we've seen up until this point that I had already seen. I saw them before I saw this. I saw this when I was late in my teens. I was like, Tremors. I know this film, yet I've never seen this film. Let's watch it. And it was an absolute delight. I loved every minute of it. And now I live in Nevada, so who knows? Maybe they're going to come
Maybe
for
you've
me
got graboids in the garden.
Yep. Potentially.
So Kaiser Kush, are we doing countdown for syncs? Yes, we will do. So we'll announce a countdown shortly when we get ready to begin. So yeah, I mean, I saw this at my friend's house growing up, and it was great. If anything, for me, this film strikes me as independent. I think in some ways it led the way for Independence Day, and by that I mean it led the way for the 90s to have a big screen, bigger budget 50s movie.
Yeah, like a large budget monster movie. Well, not large budget. What was this? 10 million?
10 million, yeah, but still.
Yeah, for 90s, it's still no small change. But I understand what you mean. Yeah, it's got a 50s feel, like even the small town under attack.
Yeah,
kind of vibe.
Exactly. Oh, our friend Pepjin says, Tremors Nado, make it happen. I'd be down for that.
Oh man, I guess I mean it couldn't be. Tremors has gone through some growing pains, so Tremors Nado probably wouldn't be the worst thing that they've ever done.
Okay, everybody. Right, now let's get back to that countdown we were talking about. So we're going to start, as I say, from where it says Universal and MCA Company on screen. And the countdown will begin on 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Press play. Here we go. Now, this is a fun film. This is one of our really fun films I'm looking forward to. And what I'm going to be saying is this is a 90s horror movie. And we will be next year, as you're probably all aware, the next In Search of Darkness will be covering 90s horror. The watch parties will be shifting quite significantly. Of course, we'll be still visiting some old favourites from the 80s and possibly even the 70s, but it's going to be quite 90s centric next year, so that's going to be a lot of fun.
Great introduction to our heroes here, isn't it? Urinating off of a cliff.
Why not? Why not? So this is a great comment here from our friend the Tremors Saga, saying Tremors is a homage to 50s monster movies Steve S.S. Wilson grew up with. That is great to know, and it's evident, but that's also a wonderful fact.
Yeah, it shows through. It shines through. That feeling, like you and I both expressed, it does feel like a 50s movie.
I do think that the chemistry between the two leads with Kevin Bacon and Fred Ward just really works.
They are like a married couple.
They are. You can really kind of tell that I think they got on. And Kevin Bacon wasn't taking himself too. I think you could tell he was having fun with this.
That is something I would say about this film. You said it was a horror film. I find it really difficult to. It's a creature feature for sure.
Mm-hmm.
This is a horror film in the same way Ernest Scared Straight is a horror movie. It is fun first and foremost.
Brandon M over on Discord says, I was heartbroken when I heard about the passing of Fred Ward. He had great chemistry with Kevin Bacon. They really do. They worked brilliantly.
Yeah.
Thank you. And Tremors Saga, you are coming out with some gold here, my friend. Kevin signed on to the project because of the bromance between Val and Earl. And we did,
It's the heart of the
unfortunately,
film.
Matt. We lost Fred Ward earlier this year.
It's been a tough few years.
Yeah. Okay, Gail Ann Hurd as the executive producer. So, it's a quality
production.
Yeah. The thing for you, obviously, Dom, is this is basically looking out your window almost, isn't it?
Exactly. I look outside my window. I see two southern lads hammering in fencing here in rural Las Vegas.
Exactly.
Yes, freeways.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing but dirt roads. Funny thing is, before Oh, go on.
So Pepchin says, this always reminded me of the Dune games with worms. It does a bit with Dune, but also, if not Beetlejuice.
The worlds are interconnected. I keep telling you.
I tell you what, I would go more with the sandworms in Beetlejuice being graboids, ghosts of graboids.
Yeah.
It's quite interesting because here in the UK, I don't know if you remember this, Dom. We see Kevin Bacon quite regularly in commercials here now.
Yeah, for like EE, right?
Yeah, for the face of one of our big mobile phone networks. Yeah. Well, she zinked her nose. She's not going to get burnt.
The nose, at least. That has always confused me, that trope of having the schnoz completely coated in sunscreen and nothing else. It's like, do they not care about the rest of their body?
Well, Mad Matt's just posted in Discord a sandworm size chart.
Oh, hello. That's amazing. So a Graboid is bigger than the Sarlacc pit. Good to know. The question mark from Beetlejuice.
Oh, David, that's a good question. How many movies have we watched now in watch parties with the amazing Victor Wong? I think it's probably just 2.
3, Big Trouble,
Big Trouble.
Prince of Darkness, this.
And this. Okay, 3. So let's have a look through some of our cast, the main cast I've got here. Kevin Bacon, I think this is probably the first Kevin Bacon watch party.
Yeah. Not the last, hopefully.
No. Same with Fred Ward. Okay. How many have we watched with Bibi Besh in?
I don't know.
Come on, I can get my community. You can give me this answer. Oh, yeah, but Mr. Fursell, we've not watched Remo Williams yet on a watch party, I'm afraid.
Not yet.
But Mad Matt gets it. Bibi Besh as the amazing Carol Marcus in Wrath of Khan, Kirk's son's mother. That's right, Tremors saga. Yeah, exactly.
You watched Wrath of Khan without me?
Yep.
You said so proudly.
Yep, we watched it. And now everyone's shouting Khan in the chat. Which
Yeah,
you have to do by law.
Yeah, exactly. It is the law. City of Perfection. Now, this entire city was a complete set, wasn't it? They didn't find a city and shoot there. They built it from the ground up. I'll say city. God, calling it a city is really generous, isn't it?
And also another person in this.
I think the town in Creepshow 2 had more than perfection.
And there's a certain young girl in this who... this was actually 4 years before her big role.
Darn, I can't think of... She's the girl on the pogo stick, right?
That's right.
Oh, man. I
Mr.
can't
Fursell
think of
got
her
it.
face.
Yeah, Joshua Nelson got it as well. Sharon got it. Jurassic Park.
It's the Jurassic Park.
Green Raptor, welcome. Green Raptor says she comes back for number 3 as well. And Tremors Saga over on YouTube says, Perfection was built on Dolomite Flats in Lone Pine, California. Thank you. And Dom is now about to reveal how he now lives on this set.
Nonsense. I only stole most of the stuff from the set. I wasn't even born when this was made. God damn it. One day we'll get to films where I was actually alive for them. This is so close. This might be the closest. No, well, we have watched a film where I was alive for it, haven't we? Terminator 2! I was alive for that.
Yes, just about. But don't worry, as we get into the 90s, we'll be covering off movies that you were alive for.
Remember The Fifth Element? I went to the cinema to see that. I remember it.
Yeah, but don't forget, everybody. Next year, as I've said, we are doing Starship Troopers.
Oh, I didn't go to the cinema for that, but I remember watching it a lot.
Lizard Man, Lex, the world's greatest screamer. Oh, and Pepjin wants to know, Dom, if you wouldn't mind asking, how old are you?
I am turning 32 next February.
There we go.
Born in delicious 91.
He's a baby.
Yeah. But I had 2 older siblings, both a decade older than me, hence why I know so much about the old school movies. I was raised on their VHS tapes. I do love the not-so-steady cam footage as well, the POV shot of the Graboid. Very Evil Dead.
Oh, Pepjin says, you know your classics.
Yeah. I'm fighting the urge to say Garbage Day now. And
it's Bin Day.
Every Friday, it is Garbage Day for me, and I do say to my wife almost every time, it's Garbage Day, and she has no idea why I'm saying it.
No, Dom, you tell her they're the bin men. It's Bin Day.
The bin men.
Yeah, the bin men are coming.
Gotta bring the Britishisms over.
Lizard Man says, no. Everyone says, what two people saying? Pepchin saying, toilet beer, it's the best. And Lizard Man saying, nothing beats toilet beer.
Yep.
I can tell you a story about pumping a septic tank, strangely enough.
Oh, I was going to say I can tell a story about finding two couches in the middle of a refuse area, and they're nowhere near as comfy as you'd imagine.
No, my parents in one house had a septic tank arrangement, and I don't know if you know how they work over here. Basically, you have a series of tanks that are all interconnected with pumps, and one of the pumps wasn't working, and I was getting it sorted with my father on the pump. And imagine, you see that hose? Imagine the pump hosing me from head to toe in effluent. And semi-digested effluent. Not a split in the hose, the full bore of the hose like that.
And if I remember correctly, that septic tank incident was not necessarily a prank on the two leads there, but it was a surprise for them. Can you imagine that? Two dudes that are the local handymen for almost every issue in the town.
Yeah, but it's not entirely true. Where my parents live, my parents moved to rural Lincolnshire now, and they have a local handyman who is the guy who trims the garden, does a bit of building work, and does odd jobs and stuff.
Maybe to become a city boy, but for every job I do, I want it to be like dictated on paper, so I'm not doing something I'm not supposed to.
On the plus side, Dom, though, what was quite fortunate about the toilet incident, I've had so many mishaps in my life that when I
You're
went
immune
to
to every disease.
I'm immune to. I now have immunity permanently to tetanus because I'm over the threshold of having tetanus shots.
Yeah,
I've had sufficient.
too many.
I've had too many now, and I now have permanent immunity to tetanus, which isn't a bad thing.
No, but when I don't know, some kind of being comes to Earth and its only like method of taking down humanity is tetanus, you're going to be the first soldier on the lines.
I am, aren't I? Oh, don't ever do this in real life. I know they're like this, but you should never, ever go near a pylon without protective equipment, as electricity can arc.
Ooh. And never stay out in the Nevada desert for any amount of time without hydration.
Exactly.
You will die.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
normally what Vegas folk look like outside for hours, not days.
Well, Mad Max makes a good point. Handyman imperfection is like Alex is to the trailer park in the last Starfighter. Yeah, but maybe not quite as noble. Yes, exactly, James. James Hellier. Growing up in the UK, I'm aware of the danger of pylons due to the public information films with their kite flyers, frisbee throwers, etc. Exactly, we're mortal fear
the little
of them.
kid.
And let me ask you this, James, since you're a similar age to me, do you still check the yellow lines on escalators? And Tremors Saga says, drink your water, folks.
Drink it, stay hydrated.
Yeah. James does check the lines on escalators.
Classic monster movie stuff.
Yeah, I think one of the things I liked about this was I had not seen a trailer for this film originally. And
Just the poster.
No, I hadn't even seen the poster. I don't think it was a video store rental. I think it was on TV.
Wow.
I think it was a satellite movie. So I just went into it blind, so I didn't have a clue what was going on.
I think a good double bill with this would be the David Duchovny masterpiece that is Evolution.
Yeah, I don't think so.
They just can't stop helping people.
That's right.
They see problems, they gotta fix it.
Oh, God. I find it interesting. The Graboids have literally torn the sheep to pieces.
Instead of just taking them underground like everyone else.
I thought they just ate them. Yeah.
Collateral damage. Maybe they're not a big fan of mutton.
I don't know. Maybe they don't like the taste of sheep and they spat it out.
Could be.
Spoilers, later in the movie, we see the Graboids don't like the taste of certain things. Maybe it was the wool got caught in their throats or something.
Gives them a dry heave.
Oh. Yeah, Sharon's saying, that makes no sense, knowing the worms take their prey underground. But, like I say, maybe they spat it out because of the wool. They don't like the texture of the wool on the sheep, so he sort of chewed it up and coughed it up. Ah, there we go. Thank you, Tremors Saga. The Graboids were not fans of the wool.
There we go.
That would make sense. Cause I was going to say I don't think I particularly like trying to eat wool.
It is really handy having an expert in the field.
Tremors expert on demand. Thank you. It's great having you here. Oh, it's a really nice practical effect though they're doing here.
Phenomenal. They spent those $10 million really well for this film.
Yeah. James, I don't think a good woolly coat would be a defense against Graboids because they munched the sheep up and spat them out because they didn't like the wool. They probably do the same to you in your woolly jacket. Pepjin, that's not Mr. Miyagi, I'm afraid. That's not Mr. Miyagi.
No. It is Egg Shen.
Egg Shen. Also the guy from Golden Child. And the grandpa in the Three Ninjas films. But we don't talk about them.
Oh my god, I forgot about those films. Leaving Perfection Valley. Come again. Isn't that always the case? You decide to leave just a little too late.
That's right, James. He narrowly escaped from the Prince of Darkness to live in perfection.
It's a continuing saga.
Do you know what? Just as a side note here, because we're getting to slightly more modern movies. Mad Matt's saying he met Orlando Jones from Evolution. I'm talking about another film with Orlando Jones in that's often forgotten about. And I think it's actually it's got some really good stuff in parts of it. It's the remake of The Time Machine with Guy Pearce, where Orlando Jones plays an AI in it. You know what? It's got some really good stuff in it, and there's a couple of amazing sequences of. There's a bit where he falls asleep in the time, where he gets knocked out in the time machine, and basically goes into the far future, and you see the whole world changing around him. This kind of weird stop motion. It's a beautiful sequence.
I haven't seen that one, actually, the remake.
Mr. Furzel saying, anyone ever drive without power steering and a stick rough? Yes, I'm old enough to drive a car.
Yeah.
My first car had no power steering, and
It
British
sucks.
cars, and most British cars have our manual transmission.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Oh, it's always going to be better. Practical effects are always better than digital. A big slug.
Oh, they always put that mucusy stuff on everything on.
Yeah, right? Just make it sludgy.
Yeah. Exactly, James. Not anymore, Andrew. Most new UK cars are automatics, yeah.
Oh, are they?
Newer cars tend to be. Mine's a hybrid electric, and my wife's is pure electric, so of course they're automatic, because electric cars do not have gears.
True, yeah.
Mine has a very complicated arrangement of simulated gears. Oof. Lizardman saying, is anyone else a bit disturbed that Graboid's tongue is basically just more worms with tiny mouths? Yeah. It's a bit... Is that a mood ring he's wearing?
Could be. It's the 90s.
Yeah. James is saying, my car has a petrol engine, a big turbocharger. I love big oil. Mine's got 2 turbos, a petrol engine, and an electric motor. So it's very cool.
Something that's rather understated is the almost haunting soundtrack to this film. It's really
great.
sets you in a place.
It's a bit of almost like a western.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That sky is an underrepresentation of desert sky at night. When there's no light pollution around, you are almost blinded when you look up and you see the vast amount of stars.
Yeah, I used to live in the countryside at one point, and yeah, it's very different when you're away from all the light.
Oh yeah,
light and pollution. Yeah, the score very much is that kind of westerny kind of vibe to it.
Briscoe County,
Mr. Furzel, the lack of sound as well, Dom. He's saying.
Oh yeah, I used to camp up in a town, northern Nevada, called Elko. I couldn't see 2 feet in front of me. It was so dark, and I couldn't hear anything, and it was terrifying. But then I'd look up, and I'd just be lost in the stars.
I prefer living near a city now, though, because at least I can get food delivered.
Same here, yeah. I'm a city boy through and through. Born in a city, raised in a city, live in a city.
Yeah.
Take me to rural anywhere, and I'm like, where's my 24-hour coffee machines?
Yeah. And my broadband now. Now living in civilization. I like fast broadband.
I like civilization.
But welcome, Christopher to Santiago over on YouTube. Kevin Bacon was the goat in Tremors. I think they all were. But actually, it's our second film, second watch party in recent memory where we've got a creature with little mouths inside their mouths.
Oh, yeah. Wait.
Oh, no, they were extra heads on the plant, weren't they? Not in
I was about to say.
Yeah.
Still, giant, charismatic, absorbing things.
I will be fair, though. He's falling into a hole. She's trying to stop him falling in, and she actually did something a reasonable effort to try to save him by giving him a sturdy piece of wood to put himself on.
I just thought that. I was like, wow, that's genius. That's a great.
That's actually a sensible idea. Oh. And that is actually a reasonable idea as well. Get inside the car and put the...
I'm starting to think how much was Spielberg inspired by this film to make
Yeah, it's great.
Jurassic Park. Oh man, they probably just got the car washed.
Mhm.
All that saliva.
Tremors Saga, if I may ask you, what is your connection with Tremors? Are you just a super fan, or are you involved in the production of the movies? I think Bibi Besh was a great actress. Sadly missed. Oh, thank you, Mad Matt. And that's a Reba McEntire song playing on the radio. Is Bert's wife. That's a great shot.
It is. And again, very 50s monster movie.
Yeah. And a VHS rental shelf.
Yep.
And I think next to it, there were some Nintendo games to the side for rental, which probably would have been...
Oh, yeah. As expensive as renting a video.
Ah. That's fantastic. Tremors Saga, we are both super fans, restarting the franchise with its original creators. That's fantastic, and I hope that does happen. I think as well, it's great to see. I was talking to you about this before here, with Michael Gross, seeing him as Bert, playing such a different character from his nation's dad from Family Ties. He was basically the nation's kindly father in Family Ties.
America's dad.
He was America's dad. I mean, I'm going to ask a question for maybe the older people. I think the people who've been around a bit longer than me. I suspect Sharon, for example, will probably remember how heartbreaking it was in the episode of Family Ties where you thought that he had committed adultery. How groundbreaking! How when you thought Stephen had committed adultery in that episode, that was a traumatic episode of everyone's favourite dad.
I've just thought these guys don't have like a local bar or tavern. They've got a local grocery store, which just has the coldest
the
beers
local
in
store
town.
is everything. It's also it must also be a restaurant. Because if you look, there's pans and a stove there, so it's maybe a bit of everything.
It's the corner shop. It's got a bit of everything.
Yep. David, we're just coming to 29 minutes into the movie. It's a talcum mine. Wow.
I do miss riding horses. It's been an age since I've ridden. I should go to one of the local cowboy places and saddle up once again. Tell them how I grew up riding horses, get saddled with the biggest, wildest stallion they have, and get thrown from it and destroyed. Oh, you prankster, you.
Uh-huh.
I hope these antics don't come back to haunt him.
Tremors Saga says there's a menu you can see behind Val in later scenes. Lots of cheese sandwiches. Chang's is the all-in-one stop, which makes sense if it's the little business in the village and he wants to. You can see he's got fan belts for cars there. I guess you just go for everything if it's the only shop nearby.
Much like the store in Creepshow 2 that we
exactly
saw. Cowboys riding off into the sunset.
Yeah.
This is a Western.
Do you know another Western film that people have forgotten about now and is absolutely brilliant I rewatched recently, and it's not a sci-fi film or a horror film, but I'm going to mention it, is Young Guns.
Hey, Young Guns is a good one.
Young Guns is an awesome, awesome Western that people seem to have largely forgotten about these days.
In my history class, many moons ago, the teacher recommended, because we were studying Billy the Kid, and he recommended that we watch Young
Oh
Guns.
God, clicked on the wrong comment there, but there we go. The reason Melvin acts like such a twerp is because his parents leave him in perfection regularly to go gambling in Vegas.
See? Just bring him to Vegas. It's a family town. In the 90s, it certainly was. Wet and Wild.
Yep.
My wife remembers Wet and Wild very fondly, and they took it away. Took it away and left it with nothing. It's been a lot ever since. Very depressing story.
Yep, Sharon, I remember I watched the Wonder Years where he played the... Didn't he play the older brother? It.
These two must have been very proud that they could ride horses so well.
Oh, exactly, exactly.
Having so many close-ups where it's clearly not stuntmen, but it's the two actors riding these horses. Doing the stunt work as well, like this acting with these animals. Horses are incredibly intelligent, but it's never easy, especially when they are such powerful beings.
We have to be careful as well. Like where they had the stuntmen had the horse's rear there, but they made sure the horse didn't fall onto them.
Oh yeah, because it would have crushed them.
Oh yeah, would hurt them. I don't like this scene with the horse. I don't like scenes where animals are... Obviously, they didn't really hurt the animals in the movie. But I don't like anything where it appears an animal is being hurt in the movie on screen.
It's great how empathetic we are, isn't it? As human beings, we hate
humans.
Seeing... Humans is fine, yeah. But whenever we see an animal get hurt, we're like, no!
Exactly.
Oh. This beautiful puppet.
It's great.
And the noises it makes. Oh, it's wonderful.
Lizard Man, well, Sharon says, yeah, look away from the horses being eaten. Lizard Man says, I do get concerned about the animals getting hurt, that's for sure. Yeah. Ooh.
I like how that's essentially its tongue just dangling out.
Yeah.
Like a cartoon.
Thank you, Calbot. Melvin is not the same kid from the Wonder Years. The only thing I would say is, in this movie, some of the blood reminds me a lot of Heinz cream of tomato soup.
I was about to say! Where'd you find that big log? The mucus again. What is the substance? Is it Nickelodeon gack without the colour in?
Oh, apparently it's Libby's pumpkin pie mix. Well, that's ruined Thanksgiving for a lot of our friends. Thank you, Tremors Saga.
I make my own pumpkin pie. Thank you very much.
It's called Ultra Slime.
When slime just isn't enough, get
Lord
ultra slime.
Ah, thank you. Welcome, Resolute Blood. Nice to see you joining us. They used pancake batter in Nightmare on Elm Street. And Tremors says it's basically the same substance as KY jelly. I've heard they use a lot of sort of jelly type stuff for making this. And I know in Carrie, wasn't it corn syrup they used for the blood, I believe?
Probably. It's the old classic.
Only thing I would say is she's a seismologist, isn't she? Or a geologist?
A seismologist, yes. Well, science lady. It's
Oh, science lady. She's also an
science.
expert on animals.
Of course, biology, subterranean biologist.
Yeah. Except with a minor in zoology, says Mad Matt.
Yeah, she can know other things. I do love that Val's belt buckle is a heart. That's cute. It hurts when you fall into a pothole like that. I can understand. I nearly fractured my my ankle when I was randomly running into one of the fields near my house in England, and I fell into a rabbit hole.
My sister-in-law put her foot down an open drain cover.
Oh, God!
And she received a compound fracture in her leg. That was fun.
Ugh.
Dom, being someone who worked for the NHS, for those of our friends who may not know, can you explain what a compound fracture is, please, to the audience, for the horror audience?
Well, it's several breaks within the bone, so it's like splinters, and it's just...
Usually with the bone protruding from the skin as well.
Yep. Hairline fractures are far better for you. It's easier to set.
Yes.
Compound fractures require a lot more work. Surgery.
Yes. Plates.
Yep. To keep everything healing in place. It's not great.
Okay. Now they're learning. They can hide from the graboids on
stone.
Yeah. Well, Resolute Blood, that was trying to be cool, so I don't know. Saying, I broke my ankle myself when I fractured my ankle by jumping on the hood of my friend's car in high school.
Yeah, that's... Was it worth it? It better have looked damned cool.
Yeah.
Those damn pesky ankles, they're so easy to break. Such little bones. I'm lucky enough to have never broken a bone in my body. However, now that I've said that.
Mr. Furzel. Cold War jokes. God, I miss the 90s. Yeah, we had a lot of those in the 80s too, Cold War jokes. Oh, we're all comparing injuries now.
Yeah.
Sharon, my daughter not only broke her femur, but it was a twisted break, not a compound, but still the worst break I ever saw. Hell if I know, saying never broke a bone either, Dom.
There we go.
Oh.
We have the titanium bones. Tremor sense.
Like those sandworms in Dune, where they sense vibrations.
See, science fiction has prepared us for so many horrors and
Yeah.
nightmares that we'll encounter.
It's a lovely shot, though.
Beautiful.
Exactly,
All pick
Sharon. The
separate sides of the
seismologist
rock.
and the handymen figure it out.
They figure it out by experiencing, though, which is nice, rather than just saying, yes, this must be the case, and it becoming true.
I would say, with the best will in the world, I would not be sleeping, even if I was sleeping on the rock. I would have moved the serrated spade from above my head before I
Just
went
a
to sleep.
touch, yeah.
Yeah. I will say, though, these are some of the most... Green Raptor says, reasonable deductions in a horror film. Egads, they are some of the most these are some of the most sensible victims in any horror film you
Yeah.
ever see. All the victims, even the doctor and his wife, she had made a reasonable effort to save him from his fate. They are making good decisions now to stay safe. We see other
The poor
characters making
guy
good
who was
decisions.
died up in the
Yeah,
electrical thing, he escaped and died a different way.
yeah.
They're all reasonable people. See, Nevada, we have some reasonable people.
Tremors Saga says most of these boulders had to be built because there was no appropriate rock formations next to each other for pole vaulting.
Yep, I believe it. Rocks are
Yeah.
far and few between. Big boulders like this. And again, all this lumber.
One thing I would say is, though, I would not try pole vaulting without a proper pole vaulting pole.
A bit of driftwood that you found in the desert where there's no trees or anything. It's perfect. Oh, this is fun music.
It is fun. I'll go with this sequence being a lot of fun. It's also nice to see that Earl actually gets a pole for Val.
Yeah. Like I said, they're a married couple.
They are. It's proper bromance. Sharon is saying, but the worm would sense the pole in the ground. It would, but it maybe wouldn't be upsetting it as much because it's not a constant amount of rhythmic vibration.
Bumper sticker about something being a student.
And Tremosag says, they're actually poles for the fence, and you can see it in the background. Val and Earl didn't finish it.
There you go. See, even my nitpicks have reasonable things to it. I love how he just punches it.
But again, though, she's making a sensible decision to try to drive the car.
Yeah.
Rather than trying, just put your foot on, put your hand on the accelerator.
And then steer somehow. Oh, what VHSs are there? I love that. Do you know what these things are? No, no one knows what they are. Okay, but what are they?
Tremors, like I said, so there was actually scenes filmed with the Graboids attacking the poles, but it ruined the flow, so they were caught. That makes sense.
You mean there's scenes that didn't work, so they reshot them to make them better?
Cut them. That's cool.
I love how
This
tiny
Fursel
this
says,
film is.
thumbs up if you have more than a dozen VHS flicks in your collection. Well, I actually went through a phase of buying old VHS tapes off eBay of things people had recorded to see if I could find old commercials and cool things on them. Nothing too sinister. However, every job lot of VHS tapes I bought where people were clearing stuff out included a recording of Princess Diana's funeral. I own about 4 copies of it from different people. Everyone recorded it for some reason.
Interesting. That is the start of a horror movie, though. I'm pretty sure that the VHS series is based on that entire concept. The man serves chili dogs. It's all right in my book.
Yes. However, Fraglord and those asking, I do have a Laserdisc player.
Oh, good God. You and 4 other people in the world.
Yeah, and I've got some... Let me see if I can find one of my cool Laserdiscs. Hang on.
Do you have the Laserdisc of Time Cop?
No. Let me see what I got. I do have... What have we got? Got some good stuff here, though. How about Matinee on Laserdisc?
Oh, hey!
Yeah?
Now that's something.
Yeah. How about... let me see what my favourite one is I've got here. I'm trying to look through my collection. Forgive me. A couple. That one.
He does haircuts as well. What doesn't he do? You speak a lot of French, Al.
They do indeed.
And now we get to the point the boy has cried wolf a few too many times.
Here we go. All right. Forgive me, sorry, they're not in order in this box that's next to me. So, I'll show you all some in a moment. Oh, gosh. So, seeing the Graboids aren't actually that stupid.
They are not.
Thank you, David. Yes, if I keep digging deeper, I'll disturb a Graboid. Joshua, no, I just collect them. I've got the player and the discs, but it's easier to watch sort of a Blu-ray. But they are just such lovely tactile things. So we have some Terminator 2.
Hey.
And stuff we've had in other watch parties, including we had this one with Joey Kramer, Runaway.
Hey. So you are one of 2 people with the Runaway Laserdisc.
And one of my all-time favourite films that we did a watch party on, we may have to do again at some point, because I know our friend Rocco loves this. Life Force.
I love Life Force. Big
love
Toby
Force.
Hooper fan.
Yeah. Yes, James, I've got the Star Wars and the Indiana Jones set.
I wonder if this film was filmed more or less chronologically.
I don't know. I guess so. Possibly for budgetary reasons. It may be for certain practical things where... Yeah.
I like how the pogo stick was just standing upright.
Because the Graboids spit out things they don't like.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Fursel says Bacon can even outrun Graboids.
He's got a good run.
I'd like to see him doing a dance away from them, even better. Footloose type dance. Oh, James Hellier says, as Dom is a Tobe Hooper fan, can we have an Invaders from Mars watch party?
At some point, it has to happen.
Well, Dom, I'm going away next year on holiday, don't forget, and you can schedule your own films while I'm away.
There we go, then. There we go. It's going to happen. Get your requests and your bribes in now, and we'll see what we can make work.
Joshua Nelson is saying, can Kevin Bacon outdance the Graboids?
I don't know. They clearly have some slick moves.
They do. But Tremors Saga says 3 months of non-chronological filming on location with 2 months of filming effects and interiors.
Yeah, most movies are not filmed chronologically. It just makes sense to do it that way.
Look at that! It's even using one of its. It's even using one of its mouths to get out of itself. That's really cool.
Very articulate, these tongues.
Resolute Blood. What about a Goonies watch party? I know Carla would love to do that, and we'll do one next year. We will have a Goonies watch party. Well, David, the Arachnophobia watch party is going to happen, but I believe Sharon is going to be the guest for that.
The classic scene of the rafters rippling out.
Sharon, probably early next year. We've got the rest of this year just lined up at the moment.
Iodine. That stuff burns.
And also, FYI, we've had a lot of requests. Next year, we will be doing V, the Final Battle, the second part of the V miniseries. But that'll be a 3-weeker. That'll be 3 weeks we're watching that for. I love as well the fact that this shop sells really generic electrical equipment that you know is massively overpriced, and you can see the box is sun faded because it's been there for so long, which is common with these kind of places.
Yeah, even in the city, my corner shop had ancient bits of like ancient toys as well. Like they had a whole aisle of like kids' toys, like off-brand Barbie dolls and stuff.
Yeah, and they're overpriced and they've been there for forever, and the boxes are faded.
Yeah. God, what? Oh yeah, the machine.
The Pepsi fridge.
The delicious Pepsi Cola fridge. Oh, you got it too late.
Resolute Blood, send that picture over. That'd be amazing. If you post it in the Discord, we can all see it. Lizard Man says, curse you, Pepsi. Coke would never have betrayed us.
Exactly.
Yep, you can post it in the general chat or in the watch party room, Resolute Blood, if you'd like.
Just when they thought that the storefront was safe. But it's a great example of escalating concern. When you have such a simple concept, you have to keep escalating it. Very similar to The Blob. Again, 50s horror movies, right? 50s monster films. You have to set your rules really early on, set what your monster can and can't do. Then you have to keep progressively putting your guys in danger somehow. And we've already established this film isn't dumb with its characters, and the characters aren't dumb. Even the monster isn't dumb.
No, it's a great film. It's I think, welcome Brew, who's joining us. But Pep Gin over on YouTube says the passing of this movie, so the pacing of this movie is really good. The pacing is tremendous on it.
Yeah, it just goes and goes and goes.
And everyone's, oh wow, Resolute Blood, that's a very cool Goonies tattoo you've just posted a picture of in the Discord. Very cool. Eric saying this reminds me of the raptor scene from Jurassic Park, and Tremors Saga says that Forgive me if I can find the comment. Let's have a look. Basically, the scene with Egg was a tribute to Jaws, I believe you said. So that's pretty awesome. There we go. The Chang swallow is actually a reference to Quint getting swallowed in Jaws.
It's got the same kind of death wails as
Yeah.
well.
Bert and his crazy prepper property.
Uzi for you.
Yeah.
The Silver State. And our hockey team are called the Golden Knights.
James Helly says, Bert is my hero. Here's a question. Is anyone joining us today who's never seen this movie before? Is this the first... is this the first time they're seeing this movie?
Yeah. Damn it, Kevin, how is your hair so fabulous?
There's a lot of people saying they've seen it many times.
It's one of those films, isn't it? You either have or haven't seen it. And if you have,
Yeah.
good God, you've seen it a few times.
Yes, exactly.
One of my favourite shots is coming up soon. The fact that they prep their own bullets and everything.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone has a zombie plan. People need to start having Graboids plans.
Exactly.
These two are meant for each other.
They really are.
Another thing that's nice about this film, there's no comically evil human that definitely deserves death.
I do find this scene in a moment almost comical, where they are emptying everything
wall of guns
into them.
It uses great many special effects as well, the different techniques, like miniature, composite shots. See, and in a lesser film, that would be the end of it. They cut away, you hear some gunshots, and it's, oh no, they've gone.
But the thing is as well, right now, Bert and his wife are actually having the time of their lives.
Yeah, because they've been waiting for this.
Yeah.
God, don't they get like the elephant gun or something?
That's ultimately, I think, what they use in the end.
But yeah, I think that scene of like the giant part of the Graboid is a miniature.
Yeah, that's right. And Tremors Saga confirms most of the basement scene is done with miniatures.
There we go.
It's literally, this is the day they have been preparing for. They're now vindicated in the fact the family have probably disowned them for being prepper nutters.
That's the one they keep in a freaking cabinet.
The elephant gun, yeah.
Oh, look at those shells!
Yeah. I thought the Graboid picked the wrong rec room to break into. Ah, thank you. So, Resolute Blood says Alabama Hills in Lone Pine, California has provided the backdrop for many movies. So, Tremors, Star Trek V, Gladiator, Dinosaur, Iron Man, and Man of Steel. And now they're going to celebrate. They're now going to celebrate with some dehydrated beef stew.
Mmm, delicious. And then military rations.
That's right.
Yep, remember, find someone you can share your passion with. Even if that passion is doomsday prepping.
I find her a little conflicted, though, because she's the scientist. Yes, she's in fear, but is she not like, you've killed one of them now? Should not her scientist element be like, these creatures need to be studied?
I think when they try and eat you and kill you, your survival instinct kicks in. Gotta lure him out.
Okay, Resolute Blood, you take care, my friend. We'll see you soon. And Sharon says, I'm sure the experiments come after. They have one left to kill.
Our old pal Stumpy.
You're the science person.
Because you're science lady.
Hey, you're science exposition lady. That's why we're going to ask you all the questions.
Yeah. Oh, yep. Yeah. Shaky foundations. Yep, the monster evolving with the story. It's changing its tactics. It's a smart predator.
Yeah. Apparently there's 4 in total. The Graboids.
Oof.
Yeah.
Oof.
It does make you wonder if they can, how much more they can sense them.
Run,
they seem to
dude,
know where.
run.
Yeah. No. No. You're gone.
Well. Again, I love the not so steady cam.
Yeah.
End of the second act. Everything's feeling hopeless. Such a tidy structure.
It is. It's such a tight film, as was commented on earlier as well, because it just boom, boom, boom. It just goes. There's not really any. They stop literally to deliver exposition by having a beer in the movie. You see them go back to the diner, the shop, have a beer, a little bit of exposition, then off they go again.
Very little fat to trim, if any.
Yeah.
And I suppose that's one of the reasons why this film is so fondly remembered, and why it is one of those films that, if you've seen it a bunch.
Yeah.
It's easy to watch.
Here's a good question. Has anyone ever seen this movie at the theatre?
Yeah. Or is it one of those films that has had its entire life practically on VHS and TV?
The script for Tremors was written over 6 years. Thank you, Tremors Saga. David Mice says, yes, I did. Wow, you saw it at the theatre. I don't even know if this... I'll have to have a very quick look. I don't even know if this had a theatrical release in the UK. It looks like it did. In the UK, it was rated 15 when it was released and classified on the 24th of April 1990 in the UK. But yeah, I don't recall ever hearing about it at any theatres near me. Tremors Saga, of course, you've seen it at the theatre.
If it got a re-release in the cinema, I'd go see it.
I'd definitely go see it if it got a re-release, but it was certainly not... Yeah, I don't think it gained much traction in the UK. Fraglord says, saw this at a friend's house at the summer, had to walk home, I was hugging rocks.
Yep. It's one of those films. I've said that about 3 or 4 times now.
Yeah.
But its rules are so simple.
Yes.
That it gets you asking yourself. Very similar to Nope recently that I saw in the cinema. I found myself looking up at clouds a lot. So I guess, I'd probably be stepping on a load of stones or big boulders after seeing this film.
For me growing up, I didn't see a lot of the movies, a lot of the less popular movies in the theatre, because where the city I grew up in only had one cinema screen. Our other cinema was demolished to build a mall. They didn't build a new sit. We didn't have a multiplex, so yeah. Exactly, Sharon. The rules are simple. The floor is lava.
Yeah. You can step on lava for a little bit, but you'll sink real fast.
Yes.
I do like how their relationship as well, how they always do the rock, paper, scissors to see who wins. And even those rules kind of changed just now.
But again, they're all making sensible decisions. They're using a loud tractor mower to try to lure it away. I mean, it's,
They're all very sensible.
Yeah. Except Kevin Bacon's being brave here.
Yeah. And look what it gets him. a fractured coccyx.
Brandon says, do you do any of this rock, paper, scissors things to settle things with your friends? No. Sadly not.
I used to. I flip a coin now instead. Such strong Evil Dead vibes.
Yeah.
Hoof it.
Pepchin says, why look back? Well, I guess it's because you would look back because you're going to inevitably have the fear of what's coming up behind you. Human nature. They look a bit like dragons when they come out of the ground, like snake dragons, the little kind of the spikes on their heads.
I was going to say slugs.
Wyverns, yeah.
He's saying they're related to Smaug. Oh god, the inevitable Tremors reboot's going to have Benedict Cumberbatch voicing the Graboid. How terrible is it that the pipe that holds pretty much all of the water for the town just get kicked loose?
Yep.
It's hard to get by
a rag.
A dirty rag.
Ah. And now she's taken out every toilet in the town.
Yep. But let's be real. Are you going to stay in that town?
No.
The Pepsi Cola store is gone.
Yeah.
If I can't get my hair cut for $6.
Exactly. James Helly is right. Bert would be fine. He has his own water supply.
Yeah.
I don't know that one.
Shut up, a word device on my desk, who's just picked up for no reason. I'd go for that Tremors saga. How about Benedict Cumberbatch as a knight fighting graboids in 1506? I'd like a medieval Tremors film.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah. James Helly says, Bert probably has a 5-year supply of Pepsi Cola too. Well, we all make bad choices in life.
He should have gone with Pib. That's my escape plan. That little victory sting then, that sounded familiar. Not quite Superman-y.
No. Which, incidentally, is a watch party we have coming up in the near future.
It was kind of last Starfighty.
Oh, yeah, a bit like that kind of thing. Okay, that's remarkably close to making homemade explosives. They are showing fertilizer there.
See, it's fairly last Starfighty.
Yeah, it's a bit. That's right, James. We will be watching Superman the movie. And David Mace says, let's do Mountain Dew and get Chuck Norris on board. Well, actually, Sanjeev, we have got a Chuck Norris film early next year.
I forgot about that.
Which I can't wait for. Cannot wait for.
Just casually throwing around pipe bombs.
Yeah. The only thing I find strange is you would think Bert would have a large sort of cache of pipe bombs ready to go.
Or dynamite. Because of this and Duke Nukem, I had such a great knowledge of pipe bombs in my childhood.
Why not just take both?
You have 2 shoulders.
Well, it's not just that. They've got that trailer there that's got quite a lot of room.
Also, he took it out of a bag, didn't he?
Mm. there's enough room in there to have actually.
Yeah.
True, Tremors Saga, true. Better to have the supplies to make it than get caught with a felony.
Yeah. I wonder if there's a moment in this film, apart from the dude getting on the big tire, that is a moment where the cinema audience goes, "Oh, you idiot! What are you doing?" Because that's like a common
Yeah.
trait of at least 80s horror films. The buffoon that does the stupid.
Yeah.
We don't really have that here. Like we've been
No, I
saying
mean,
the whole
they're
way
all
through, it's
fairly.
clever
Yeah.
and reasonable. Salt of the earth people. Tell you what, driving through parts of Nevada can be very beautiful.
Yeah.
I know this was shot in mostly California, if not entirely in California, but the desert's the same.
Yeah. The only thing I'm thinking is it must be fortunate that they obviously have fueled this up, or it was full of fuel. Because they're driving a
Yeah.
considerable amount. You wouldn't normally drive a bulldozer a distance.
Oh. The Bobcat was only 2 days away from retirement.
I'm not ruining it with
Uzi
plot
for
logic,
you.
James.
But that's the thing, we have to really dig. I mean, because you can
Yeah.
imagine that they fill up the Bobcat on a almost daily basis because they do so much work around the town.
Yes,
So
exactly.
you could easily talk it away that way.
Thank you, Tremors Saga. They've only travelled 5 miles and had filled the cat up when they started garbage day. Well, thank you. There we go then.
There you go.
James is saying they still should have just stayed in Bert's rec room. James, do you want to be in Bert's rec room? Is that what you're getting at? You want
He
to?
did say Bert was his hero.
Yeah, you want to be in Bert's rec room.
They've got a good scream as well, the Graboids.
Yeah. I suppose, James, the problem with Bert's rec room you're saying is, I mean, Tremor Saga says the rec room would have only been gone quickly as it's made of concrete blocks and not solid concrete. And James says, would you rather be in the desert on a rock or in Bert's rec room with many guns? I suppose the issue would be if several Graboids attacked the rec room at once, you'd risk being overrun.
Yeah. Also, they've proven to learn and grow very quickly.
Yeah. Because, for example, you'd be in trouble in the rec room if the Graboid took out the wall of guns.
Also, you'd be in trouble if the Graboids dug a trench and got you trapped on a rock. See, even the kid,
Yeah.
even the irritating kid that cried wolf, you can't hate him. He's a kid. We've all done stupid stuff.
That was a good plan while it lasted.
Yeah.
Okay, let's be honest now. Look, we're 1 minute 21 and a half into the movie. It's 1:35 long. So we are in the last sort of 14 minutes till the end of the end credits. This movie's hauling ass. We say that on a few watch parties, but this one really does. The plot goes.
I miss solid 90-minute films. I really do. It's such a
I do.
pleasant amount of time.
I don't need a 3-hour epic for everything I go and see.
No, Dune, sure. Lord of the Rings, yeah, why not? Tremors, I don't need a. I don't need
Yeah,
a
but let me ask
stuff.
you this about the new Dune, Dom. Would you have stayed if it didn't have space bagpipes?
That's probably the thing that would have kicked me out the door if it wasn't Dune. No, the space bagpipes are pretty awesome, to be fair.
Yes.
Oh, space bagpipes. Out of all the instruments you could have had, why the bagpipes? Why does everyone keep bringing the bagpipes back?
James Helly says, if Casablanca can do it in 90 minutes, nothing should need any more.
Saw that in theaters recently. An anniversary showing. God, that film holds up so well.
Yeah.
It's a classic
Fraglord
for a
says,
reason.
Wakanda Forever is like 3 hours. Why tight scripts, good movies? Yeah, don't get me wrong. If a movie can justify its runtime, yes. As great as this movie is, I don't think this would have worked as well as a 3-hour movie.
There would have been too much fat to trim.
Yeah.
And as it is now, it works so well. So perfectly well. If there were, for example, more scenes of them discussing their plans, it would have felt too bloated.
Yeah, I don't want... They're not the kind of characters you want to have sat around delivering mountains of exposition.
No, they're like run by the seat of your pants kind of guys.
Yeah.
And gals. And they make
it would seem out of
decisions.
character.
Yeah. The man looks good with a lasso.
He does.
Proper
There's
cowboy.
a wonderful... I've got to say, there's a wonderful YouTube clip you have to go and look for after this, if you want to see men with a lasso. There was a cow running wild down the highway in America, and they dispatched a cowboy on a horse with a rope, and he's literally... The cops can't get this cow. The cowboy rides in on his horse, lassos the cow, and stops it.
I can see that it's pumpkin stuff now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh. Oh, it's steaming as well.
They're going to run out of rocks on their little rock they stood on soon.
Yep. It's all stumpy. I love their little competitive streak. They're competitive, but they love each other.
Kaizo Kush says, I cannot understand how anyone can take a break in a movie and come back to it. Well, showing my age...
Oh, when intermissions were a thing.
Yeah. When I was a kid, we used to have intermissions halfway through movies in the cinema. And what would happen is a lady would come out with a little tray of ice cream, and you'd buy ice cream and snacks off her halfway through the
certain
movie.
movies need an intermission. Like, Gone with the Wind is such an epically long film. Oh,
yes,
God.
James, intermissions were a great time for ice cream. Thank you, Pepjin. In the Netherlands, they still have intermissions in movies. I saw I would have been same year as this. Strange enough, I would have been about 12. I saw Dances with Wolves when I was 12 at the cinema. Don't know why I went to see it. Had no idea what was going on. It was when I was younger. I went through this kind of film snobbery phase where I'd go see films that just weren't
Yes.
appropriate, but I thought I was clever. I saw that, and I also saw quite close to it Hunt for Red October as well. I thought Hunt for Red October was going to be an action film, and it wasn't, of course.
No.
But that's the clip, David Mace over there. It's brilliant, the one in Oklahoma. But I saw Dancing with the Wolves. Dancing with the Wolves was so long because it's a 4-hour movie. It had 2 intermissions.
That's insane. I have seen Dances with Wolves. I saw it on a home release. I can't remember it being that long, honestly. But then again, I didn't remember Gone with the Wind being as long as it was.
A lot of people in the Discord talk about how their butts hurt from seeing the movies and the seats and whatever. I'm quite fortunate. My local cinema, which has been dreadful for years, they've been running into the ground. They just announced last week they're turning it into an Odeon Lux, which means proper posh recliners and instead of very old-fashioned cinema.
I'm fortunate because my cinema, one of my 4 or 5 local cineplexes, all have great, juicy, big, sexy seats that you can just sink into.
Yeah, well, I saw, when I was in America last year, I saw Ghostbusters Afterlife in a Cineopolis Lux, where I had a button and it made a waiter come and bring me soda. It was fantastic.
Again, running by the seat of your pants.
This is quite comedic, even the way she's running with them now. I've got the lighter.
Yep. And it all comes full circle. It started with excreting waste off of the edge of a cliff, and it ends with
But so Mr. Fizzle says, this is part of the reason I carry a lighter with me when I go out now, even though I don't smoke. Is that just in case you have to light a bomb for a graboid that's chasing you?
You never know. You never know.
Ah.
There he goes.
Tremors Saga says this ending was actually foreshadowed at the beginning of the movie when Earl falls out of his truck in his sleeping bag.
Yeah?
It is, Lizard Man. It's a very Wile E. Coyote ending, and Lizard Man, can you fly? I want him to say, can you fly, Bobby?
Can you fly, Bobby? Would have been funny if it just sprayed wings. Flew off.
Oh, Sharon says bacon saved their bacon. Oh. And everyone's saying in 2 more movies they sprout wings.
Oh god, of course they do. National Geographic? Hey, bloody disgusting. We found ourselves there a couple of times.
Calbot says at the end of the movie, does the Kevin Bacon, let's dance. Oh, I'd love that. I'd love if it turned into a big dance number at the end of the movie.
That wasn't a digital camera, was it? No. They weren't around yet, were they? It was, 94, 5, 6-ish, where they started becoming digital? And they were like these giant bricks. These huge... God, when did you first get a digital camera?
What, myself? My first digital camera About 2003. But I worked at a computer store in the late 90s, and we had an early one in there, and it held like 3 pictures, and it was dreadful.
Yeah.
No, Kaiser Kudge, no, I would not try cooking dead Graboid.
I don't know. It might be good. I reckon it tastes like alligator.
Tremors Saga says there's a running theory that Val is the same character from Footloose, only grown up. He's Ren McCormack grown up. No, Pepgin, I don't. That logic doesn't hold true. If it looks like pumpkin, it might taste like it. Things that look like things don't necessarily taste like them.
It's exactly how taste works. What are you talking about? The first bite is with the eye.
Mr. Fizzle says, I've eaten kangaroo, crocodile, buffalo, and deer. Oh, there we go. Sharon has a good question. Who would live here in that town after that invasion? Everybody. That was Tremors. I want to thank all our amazing friends for joining us tonight. It's been so much fun. Amazing guys over on YouTube and Discord. If you give me your comments on this movie, and we'll go through some of your comments, what people think of it. Phonics says, such a good flick. Fraglord says it's a nice, happy ending. Dom, sum this movie up.
This movie is fun, first and foremost. It is a weird modern-day Western, 90s modern-day Western horror flick that is inspired by 50s.
Yeah.
But good golly, it's a fun time.
Oh, it's a fun film. It flies by. There's no part in the movie where you're thinking, "Oh God, how long's left on this?" You know, there's no time of that. So I can see we've got Tremors Saga saying thank you. Mad Matt says really grabbed my attention. Bruno's applauding. David May says a fun watch every time. Mr. Furzel says no fat on this film. Lizardman says I will always love a well-made creature feature. They just speak to my love of monsters. Brandon M says one of my favorite movies ever.
Yeah.
Kaiser Kuju says, so good. Sharon says, I haven't seen any sequels. I have a fear they'll just ruin the perfection of this movie. So next week, we are taking a bit of a swerve away from... Oh, quickly. James Hellier, not an ounce of fat on this movie. Moves like a freight train. So Brainwise says this was a wonderful watch party. It's been a lot of fun, this one. So next week, as I'm trying to say, we're moving away from some horror. We've done a lot of horror recently. We're going back into a sword and sorcery, a bit of fantasy. And next week, we're doing 2 weeks of sword and sorcery. I'm going to hopefully introduce you guys to a British/American movie many of you may not have seen. Next week we will be watching Hawk the Slayer. Okay, and then the week after that we will be watching, Sharon, you got it right, the week after that we will be watching Willow in preparation for the new Willow show on Disney+. So it's going to be a bit of fun. James Hellier says, oh no, Hawk the Slayer is an interesting Frag Lord. Yeah, it's a very interesting movie, and we will have a lot of fun. We've got a great lineup for the rest of the year, guys. But Tremors Saga says, what's your favourite part of the movie? I think for me, it's the whole sequence with the bulldozer. Question out to our chat as well.
My favourite scene, hands down, is Bert's rec room. It's great. Great use of special effects. Great comedic timing and just camera work showing a joke so effectively just by panning a shot. It's such good visual comedy.
It is. It really is. Fraglord says Pole Vault and Rec Room were theirs. Mad Matt, it's not Hawk the Vampire Slayer. No, it's a random American with a sword that glows, but it's kind of cool. It's got some really cool violence in it. It's proper hardcore sword and sorcery. You're gonna have fun with it, guys. Have a lot of fun with it. But everybody, stay safe, look after each other, and be kind. And we will see you all in 7 days' time. So until then, bye-bye.
See ya.